Hello everybody, I'm the Different Collector, and welcome to the video of the One Piece card game. Today we have a bunch of OP06 cards to crack through, so let's get right into it. First off, we have Kamakiri here, a yellow card with a cost of 3, power of 4,000, and a counter of 1,000. His effect reads, activate main, once per turn, you may place a 1-cost stage at the bottom of the owner's deck and kill up to one of your opponent's cost 2 or lower characters, which is a pretty decent effect in itself, especially if you're playing against like Trafalgar Law or Zoro. Trigger, if you have 2 or less life cards, play this card. It's a pretty decent card. I feel like maybe if it was still just say 3 cost 5,000, it'd be a lot more playable. Also, mainly because of the restriction of having to send a stage card from your field to the back to the deck. I feel like it's kind of lame to this effect is pretty decent, so let's make his power go down by 1,000. I think that's kind of just a silly restriction on a very restrictive effect. But yeah, not entirely sure how playable this is, but it is a card that exists. Next up, we have, sorry, I lost the name here, Gion, a blue character with a cost of 4, power of 5,000, counter of 2,000. So it is a 2k counter, so there's some worth it on this card already. Your turn, once per turn, when your opponent activates an event, your opponent places 1 card from their hand at the bottom of their deck. That is really good. So like if you know your opponent is on red or like some form of it, they're gonna they're gonna be playing like what is it called? Not is it Red Rock? I don't know. I can't remember. But I'm thinking Radical Beam. They're gonna be playing Guard Point. Things like that. That'd be really good. I know like Yellow. If you're playing against Yellow, they'll have like El Thor. I think that's what it is. That's like the Radical Beam for Yellow. They'll have like the one from the Yamato starter deck, the Yamakiri's Arrow, something like that. I can't remember the names off the top of my head exactly. I apologize, but there are a lot of decks that play a lot of counters, so it could be really good. I'm not sure how many counters blue plays, if any. I know like green obviously yeah, if you're playing against green, like that's gonna have a lot of event cards to be using. They're gonna have Punk Vice, Spider Web. Purple has like Thunder Bagua, so this could be a really good card. It's only during your turn, so you can't like wait till if your opponent's playing blue, you can't wait for them to like try to the 3,000 Worlds or that's what Red Rock is, isn't it? That's a blue event. You can't wait for them to do that because it's your turn and only once per turn there, but it could be really good. Yeah, I think this card could have a lot of use. It's a part of Navy, so it's going to be used under, if anything, under Blue and Black Sakazuki from OPO5, which could make it very, very decent. Next up, we have Vinsmoke Yonji here, a purple character that costs a 2, power of 2,000, counter of 1,000. Activate main, down -1. You may trash this character. If your leader has the German 6 type, you may play up to 1 cost 4 Vinsmoke Yonji from your hand or trash. I said this in the previous video. I think this mechanic that the German 6 are having, where it's like a costume change kind of thing, is very unique. I just not entirely sure how good it's going to be, because you're going to have 4 different characters all doing the same kind of thing, but you also need the other version of each individual character in your hand or your trash, which is going to be a hard thing to accomplish. If like if you're playing against a blue, which plays a lot of removal, it's going to be sending it back to the binder of your deck, or you just have to hopefully draw into 8 different cards that I'm not sure you want to be playing 4 of this Yonji and then 4 of the costume, because what if you draw into like 3 of this Yonji and 1 costume? The one in the costume gets eliminated. You're just stuck with 2 of these cards in your hand. So I'm not sure how great this will be. There better be a really good enabler that's announced with these cards, and because without that, I'm just really questioning how great this deck will be, if at all playable. But it is still a unique effect, and I will probably give it at least 1 try. But yeah, decent enough, interesting enough card. On to the next one. We have Zephyr here, a purple card with a cost of 7, power of 7,000. No counter. He's part of Film and Navy, so there's that Uta leader that is coming out in this set to red and purple based off of Film cards. This is something they can play. On play, -1. Nullify all abilities from up to one of your opponent's characters this turn. Then, if that character has 5,000 power or less, KO it, which is a really good effect. It's Don -1, so you do get that it's playable on your like your 9 or 10 down turn because you'll get to next turn and you won't feel like you're losing out on any down advantage, and you get to negate an effect as a Yu-Gi-Oh player that is really strong, and that's not too popular at all in the One Piece card game yet. So I'm very excited to see that, and yeah, I think this card has a lot of potential behind it, and it's probably going to be one of the better cards in this set. That isn't like immediately like an SR or a leader. Next up, we have Inazuma here, a red character that costs a 4, power 5,000, part of Revolution Army, counter of 1,000. When this character has 7,000 power or more, this character gains Banish, which is pretty decent in itself. We're getting this is obviously more Revolution Army support for Sabo and Bella Betty from set 5, and it's all right. I think it could be playable. I think it being a 4 cost 5,000 makes it just a little bit unnecessary. There's probably a few more of the cards that you would rather play instead of this, but who knows? I might be terribly wrong. All right. Next up, we have Cerberus here, a black character that costs a 2, power of 2,000, counter of 1,000, and it's a blocker. Pretty decent. This will probably be played just as a low cost blocker in the Thriller Bark Pirates deck, which I am really looking forward to. I think the fact that you can revive from the grave is very powerful. Again, I made a video on the leaders previous to this, so if you want to check out those out and see what they do, like the GECKO Moria, which does revive things from the grave, make sure to check that out because it could be really cool, and I think it would be really cool. Next up, we have Brook, a black character that costs of 6, power of 6,000. His type is former Rumbar Pirate, so he's not being searched out with Thriller Bark. On play, choose one. You can choose one of the effects. Put up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less into their trash, or your opponent puts 3 cards from their trash to the bottom of their deck in any order. So this is good against like probably not even Rebecca. This is kind of just like a niche little card that will avoid exactly like the GECKO Moria mirror exactly, and like not a whole lot else. Yeah, I think it could be all right, but I'm not entirely sure about that. It's an interesting enough card to see how it'll affect things. Next up, we have Koshiro here, a green card with a cost of 3, power of 0, counter of 1,000. I almost said counter of 0 there. On play, set up to one of your cost 4 lower / trait characters active. Then, for this turn, you may not attack your opponent's leader, which is a pretty strong restriction. For that reason alone, I don't think this would be too useful. I guess if you're playing against someone that's a lot of big bodies on field, like Queen, this could be really useful. But like at that point, you're already using a lot of your Don just to powering up one character to get rid of another big body that the opponent Queen has. I'm not sure if you would rather use 3 Don to. Plus, it's restricted to cost 4 or lower, which is pretty a pretty wide range. But if you're playing with some other big body like I think Shanks is like is a slash unit. I'm pretty sure 10 cost Kite. It doesn't even make sense. Like, you'd be playing that red green anyway. This is definitely like being targeted towards the ZORO and SANJI we'll be covering in a second here. But I'm not sure if those even fit the cost criteria. I can pull it up on the side here. No, they don't. They're both 9 costs anyway. So I'm not sure exactly what this is targeting. Maybe like the green, the green Mihawk from the starter deck with Zoro and Sanjay is what I was thinking of, but I'm not sure how much that'll actually help anyway. Sorry, my tinnitus just kicked up as I said that. That was weird. All right. Next up, sorry, that really disorientated me. I probably won't cut that out either. Sorry, I really do apologize. Next up we have Genbo here, a yellow card with a cost of 3 power 5,000, counter of 1,000, and a vanilla card. Decent enough. It'll probably be played maybe. If it was it's a vanilla 4 cost 6,000. Probably be played a bit more. Really good though. It's still just a decent enough character to be played in some decks. Next up we have Kuzan here, a blue character. The cost of 3 power 5,000. It's part of the Navy. On play, draw 2 cards, then place 2 cards from your deck at the bottom of your deck in any order. It's basically a Kaya, except things are not going to do trash. It's going to mine your deck, which it's fine. That helps you from not decking out. I think that's decent enough. I think that card's good. I'm not sure how much Sakazuki in blue and black needs recycling like that. I haven't really looked at one of their deck lists in a while, so I'm not entirely sure about that, but it could be useful. This card definitely could be useful. Next up, we have Inupe here, a black character that cost of 2, power of 3,000, part of the Thriller Bark Pirates, counter of 1,000. Effect reads on play or on KO. If your leader has the Thriller Bark Pirates type, draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards from your hand. Really good. This is a recycler, but it also gets things to the trash, which I said earlier, Gecko Moria does revive from the grave, so this could be extremely, extremely good, especially if we're reviving more of this guy, which could be also really, really good. So yes, it just gives you more recycling at that point, and it just goes. It's not once per turn either. So you could, if you have multiple of this and you're on your 8 Don turn, you really need to recycle some cards in your hand, go for it. So yeah, I foresee that being very, very useful. Next up, we have Isa here, a yellow card that cost of 1, power of 0, counter of 2,000. So there's worth in the counter of 2,000. A part of Sky Island. On play, you look at the top 1 card from the top of your opponent's life cards and place it at the top or bottom of the life cards. This isn't going to be really used for the effect. As cool as that is to see your opponent's life and order that how you need to, this is going to be used for a 2K. I'm not sure if it's really going to be used for the on play effect, though it does exist. Next up, we have Cosette. I thought there was an R there for a second. Cosette, a purple character that costs of 1, power of 0, part of the Germa Kingdom archetype, counter 1,000. If your leader has the Germa 6 type and your board has 2 or more Don less than your opponent, this character gains blocker, which I'm not sure how often that'll happen. That's really restrictive. And all your Germa 6 cards, from what I remember, are removing 1 at a time, so you have to activate 2 of those effects. And you're not going to be wanting to do more than that, I think, unless you're ramping on that same turn, which could be really cool. But at that point, that also would turn off Cosette. So I'm not sure how useful this card really is, but it is still a 1-cost blocker if you do need it. Next up, we have Hammond here. Or Hammond, sorry. Jeez, I was just watching a video about JoJo's. I'm sorry for pronouncing Hammond. Hammond, a green character that costs of 2, power of 2,000, counter of 1,000. He's a blocker. Pretty decent in his own right in that regard alone. Next up, we have Eldorogo here. Is that Eldorado? Ah, okay. A 5 cost, 7,000 power, 1,000 counter, film, and Eldorado Pirates archetype, and he's just a vanilla, which is pretty decent because he's just a big body to swing with. Next up, we have Sengoku, which has the same exact stat line of 5 cost, 7,000, 1,000 counter, and a vanilla, part of Navy this time, and he's just a big body to swing with. These last 4 cards here are our big secret rare and super rare cards for the set. This is Ronoro Zoro here, a green character that costs of 9, power of 9,000, and slash, and on the Straw Hat Crew archetype. When attacking, once per turn, you may rest 1 Don, set this character as active, which is really good. And then, activate main, once per turn, you may rest 2 Don, set this character as active. So, what you can do with this is you go 9 Don, and you wait for your next turn. It comes around if this card is still in the field. Oh, granted that your opponent did not remove it by playing blue or something. You go swing for 9, or hell, you can even if you need 3 Don to activate both attacks, you can give him 7 Don. So you swing for 16. When attacking, once per turn, rest 1 Don, because this character is active. Swing again. Activate main, once per turn, rest 2 Don, set this character as active. Swing again. That is 3 swings of 16 just by playing this card alone. This will be a staple in green decks. Make sure to pick this up when this set comes out before the price spikes, because this card is going to be insane. Especially if you're playing Trafalgar Law, which is red-green, which means you get Nami and or if the ban list, no, the ban list cuts out on December 8th. It doesn't even apply anymore. If you're playing, like, you have the Nami search, and you have the Archipelago event search, which is both really good. Next up, you have Sanji here, a blue character with a cost of 9, power of 9,000, and the Straw Hat Crew. On play, you may reveal the top one card of your deck, and then you may put into play one revealed character with a cost of 9 or less other than Sanji, then place the remaining cards in the bottom of your deck. This is really strong in Queen, because it's not restricted to any color. So if you're playing Queen, it's blue and yellow. You have Yamato, and you have Katakuri, and you have Soke King, and you have Kaido, which all can be played by this one effect. And if you didn't realize you're playing blue, you have, I don't know, Perona, and you have Doflamingo, which are both stacking the top of your deck. This card is insane. Both these cards are insane. These cards are absolutely crazy and bonkers. They're really good, if you couldn't tell. Yeah, these both will just eradicate things, because they're both big bodies, but one swings for 16 thrice, and the other one plays another 9 cost, giving you 18 Don to use just from that one play alone, max. And it's just insane. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. It's just insane. I mean, hell, could you imagine like playing what's a green and blue deck? Green and blue deck. Green and blue deck. Green and blue. Green and blue. What is a green and blue leader?
I know we have one. Yeah, I want to see how this will. Yeah, you can see my desktop for a second. I know we have one. There's a green and blue leader. What is the green and blue leader? I actually can't remember, and this is taking way too long to open. Let me see if I can go to the card list. I'm actually interested now because this is taking way too long. It'll have to be in like set 5. Maybe not set 4. That's Starter X. I know I'm going way off topic. Green and blue leader, there has to be one, right? Like, I'm gonna feel so stupid once I see it as well.
Oh, the starter deck that just came out with Sanji and Zoro. Oh my gosh, that's spoilers. Yeah, the starter deck that just came out with Sanji and Zoro, that's green and blue. Literally that comes out like right around when this set. Literally plays both of these. Yeah, I'm silly, I'm dumb. I didn't need to pull up any of this, but let me look at the leaders just in case, because if there's another one, I really am intrigued. Let me just go by green here. Green and blue leaders. Yeah. Is it just them? Oh, Sanji as well. Yeah, this Sanji as well, which I'm not sure. You'd probably rather play this. You may return one of your cost 2 or higher characters to its owner's hand, and then set up one of your power 7,000 or less characters. Yeah, that's definitely better than Sanji. Yeah. Which I love how updated this is as well. Like the Yamato and all that are already here too. Really good. That's okay. Sidetracked way too much. I'm sorry that took so long, because I'm just dumb and I should have had that pulled up ahead of time. Yeah. Lesson is these cards are insane. Next up, we have GECKO MORIA here, a black character with a cost of 8, power of 9,000, and the effect of on play. Well, he's part of 7 Worlds of the Sea and Thriller Bark Pirates. On play, you choose up to one of your cost 4 or less. Choose up to one cost 4 or less, and up to one cost 2 or less character from your trash. Play one of them, then play the remaining rested. So you're playing one cost 4 or less, and one cost 2 or less characters. You're playing 2 characters with this on the play effect. One of them is going to be rested, and one of them is going to be active. And what card should you play with your cost 2 or less target? That's right, Inupe. That's what you should be playing as your cost 2 or less target. So yeah, that's really good. That is insane. And the last card here, as if I didn't show it twice already, is Judge. A cost of 8, power of 8,000, purple card, no counter, Vinsmoke family and Gerbil double 6 types. On play, die -1, you may trash 2 cards from your hand. Play up to 4 Gerbil double 6 type character cards with 4,000 power or less from your trash with different names. That's crazy. If you somehow have all of them in your trash, and you play this, you are getting so much benefit out of it. Then, activate main once per turn, down -1, rest up to one of your opponent's down cards, which isn't... It's good, but it's not amazing. That is crazy. This card is crazy. You're going to be playing this in Gerbil double 6 regardless if that deck is playable or not. That's all I have for today. I'm gonna be continuing more card looking at this week because I'm lazy and took a break. But that is all I have for today. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure that the ones I have on the channel, I post One Piece content semi-regularly in between, if I'm not taking a mental health break. But that is besides the point. Thank you all very much for watching. Thank you for giving me your time of your day, and have a very great day.